In this video, we're going to look at multiplying by 10. The first thing we're going to do is skip count. So we use base 10 blocks frequently, and we know that a long is composed of 10 individual units, and so that gives us 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So as you're skip counting, you are setting up groups of 10. Each of those longs is a group of 10. So when we have 3 groups of 10, another way to write that is 3 times 10 equals 30. 10, 20, 30. 6 groups of 10 is the same as saying 6 times 10, which equals 60. So what's the strategy? Do we want to skip count by tens every time? Of course not. That's taking too long. Here's the rule for multiplying by 10. If you're going to use 10 as the boss, you're going to write the other factor and then add a 0. Let's look at a couple of examples. So if we have 6 times 10, the rule tells me, the strategy tells me I'm going to take that 6 and write it, and then I'm going to add this 0. 6 times 10 is 60. If I'm doing 10 times 4, I'm going to write the other factor, 4, and then take this 0 from the 10 and put it behind to make 40. If I'm doing 9 times 10, the rule for 10 tells me take the other factor, the 9, write it, then take the 0 from the 10 and put it behind to make 90. Oops. It works with larger numbers too. So the same strategy would apply if I'm doing 10 times 37. I take the other factor, 37, write that, and then the 0 I bring over from the 10 and write it behind. So 10 times 37 is 370. If I'm looking at 426 times 10, I write the 426, all of it, and then take the 0 and bring it over. 1, 2, 3, comma. And if I'm doing 10 times 9,400, the same strategy works. I write the 9, 4, 0, 0. I'm not going to put my comma in quite yet. Then I'm going to take that 0 and bring it over here. Write it down. 1, 2, 3, comma. So 10 times 9,400 is 94,000. So why does this strategy work? It's good to know the strategy, but I want you to understand why it works. So let's go back to a simple equation, 5 times 10. We know we took the 5 and wrote it. Then we moved the 0 over and wrote it behind to make the 50. But what we're really doing, if we talk about repeated addition, is we are adding 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. So I have 5 10s here. When I'm adding the ones place, if I have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0, it's going to equal 0. No matter how many groups of 10 I put there, I'm always going to have zeros added together, and it will always equal 0. That's why I can move that 0 over to the end. Then when I'm going to the tens column to add, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. However many the other factor is, so in this case 5, that's how many tens you'll have. And so each of these is a 1. So this is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So however many the other factor is how many ones you'll have. So it's always going to equal that factor. If I had 13 times 10, I would have 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, all the way to 13. I would end up with 13 ones and 13 zeros. So it's still going to end up being 130. This has been a video on the strategy for multiplying by 10.